guys, welcome back to the channel. Today's video we're talking about the bird flu, and could it be one of the next thing? If you follow the channel, and hopefully you have watched my video when I've interviewed Mark, the bowler hat farmer, when we talked about basically the inside information we have about the farming and what's currently going on in the food industry. In our chat, guys, there we also covered the bird flu because it is pretty much everywhere in the news. It seems to be the new cool thing, you know. Everything else seems to be brushed under the carpet, but the bird flu is pretty much everywhere. So the point that we covered there briefly, guys, is we talked about chickens. And as a chicken owner myself, and I've done the video, guys, on that before, the new legislation that is coming into place this October for UK is where we now have to register our chickens by law. Prior to this, it was advisory. Now it's going to be becoming a law. And what the questions would arise between obviously myself and the Mark, and of course some of you guys viewers in the comments as well, is why do we need to notify the authorities with such a detailed information about chickens? If we're talking about the bird flu prevention, all they need to know is that somebody has chickens. So all I have to tell them, yes, I have chickens. So if there is an outbreak locally, they'll let you know. But no, the details they want to have are quite in detail. So of course they'll need to know my name and address, where the chickens are kept. They need to know the amount of chickens I had, and they need to know the breeds of chickens I had. And this is kind of things we're all questioning. Why on earth, okay, do they need to know what breeds of chicken they are? Because bird flu is clearly not just in chickens, it could be in ducks, it could be in any other poultry, and of course now it could be in animals. So that really doesn't matter. And at the same time, it doesn't really matter how many chickens I have, okay, because all they need to know, even if I have just one, they can still just notify and let me know. So based on that fact, guys, then I had some messages from you and emails, and you wanted to know if I think that this new chicken flu is going to be the next, you know, the thing. So as a prepper, guys, as you know, I like to do my own kind of research. I like to read things, and I suggest you guys do the same. And then you make your educated choices to what's going on. So we're going to do exactly that. So a little while, there was an article that came up, guys, and you might have seen this already, but they're talking about the Finland. And Finland is one of the first countries to roll out the vaccine for bird flu. So that's going to be next week. And basically, altogether, they're saying it's going to be a preventional measure, okay, to vaccinate 10,000 people in Finland. And at the moment, okay, they are covering the people that are working in the factories, working with the fur or the abattoirs, that kind of thing. Basically, the people where they work close together with animals. So just to let you know, right, altogether across the world, there is only 11 cases of bird flu that's actually spread to human. 11 cases worldwide. And guess what? Not a single one in Finland just yet. The only thing they had in Finland, they had last year, they had an outbreak when they ended up killing pretty much 500,000 of animals. And according to this article, this is done as a preventative measure. So they are going to be doing the people that work closely with animals. And at the same time, if there is a sign that it's appeared now in humans, they will also vaccinate the close relatives and family. Reading as well, it says that in the campaign, okay, Finland will offer vaccine targeting H5 protein on the virus, which officials say will likely to work. So if you have a look at this, and again, you can pick your holes on that, but the words they're using again, or that they're saying a vaccine has been tested again, they're only saying, yeah, it probably likely work, yeah, it should do this, yes, it should attack a protein, but the words are likely and possible are kind of the key words to me here. So reading down below as well, guys, it says that in the US, the total of 4.8 million doses of bird flu vaccines are set to be delivered by late summer, although currently there's no plans to distribute that. However, in Finland, the officials said that they want to roll out the vaccine as soon as possible to minimize the risk of the bird flu spreading to humans. So they haven't had the first case. They can't even 100% guarantee that it's actually going to be attacking the proteins and stopping people getting it, but they're just going to do this anyway. And if the first case appears, they're just going to get your family with that as well. So, okay, next thing, guys, next articles I also have, which is just literally came out the other day. So now US awards Moderna 176 million on the bird flu vaccine contract. So Moderna, if you're not aware, they're the ones also that produced a C-19 vaccine. And since the government placed the contract, their share has gone up by 2%. So where do we take it from there? It is, guys, it's kind of very clear. I think if you have a look at generally what is happening in the farming industry and things like this, and then have a read through those articles and try and sort of put two and two together. Have a listen to an initial video I've done with the Mark, and then join us on Sunday when we're going to be talking about more details about another subject. And I think the penny potentially will drop, and you actually get to understand a bit better the whole thing that is actually happening. So answering your question, do I believe that avian flu could be the next thing? I think it's very, very likely. Again, considering what has been happening in the industry and what it is now, the articles we're seeing all seem to be aimed at the bird flu. Though, however, I would say, and I think I'm not 100% sure, guys, it's just me just speculating, I think there's more going to be aimed not for the human benefit with the vaccines themselves, but as a benefit for the animal benefit, so they can basically cull a lot of animals. We already know it's been done time and time again. Bird flu has been around, not the first time, but we know that rather than just culling the infected birds, they also will cull like hundreds of or kilometers around of any animals or any birds that were around. So it kind of, by going by the past history, we kind of see which way this potentially is heading. And this is my assumption is, guys, there's going to be more so that we don't have any meat. We already know, guys, right? There's struggles of meat anyway. Many farmers choose not to even farm cattle anymore. That's why we barely see any cows about. There's many things are happening, okay, that you're not really that seen to the naked eye, if that makes sense. You got to really dig in for this information to find this and then actually understand the bigger picture. Is it something they're preparing us for, guys? We know it's a bigger picture out there, and it's certainly not that. Like, it's a massive agenda, as we know, guys. I mentioned this many times. And if you're a prepper, you'll be aware of the agenda and the whole world, new world order, that kind of thing. But with this kind of thing, I think is one of these small steps, is one of the baby steps towards a greater picture. And at the same, guys, if we touch on the subject of, the new government preparedness website, I've done many videos covering that. Again, if you have a read through this and the things that they're suggested that we should be preparing for, and yes, one of them, of course, was again an outbreak. And if you think about it and you're reading through, you can really totally relate and can see how this possibly could be going. And again, there'll probably be, I know many people suggested that, that potentially could be lockdowns. I really don't see this, how they're going to be happening. The only thing that probably can stop you doing is going in somewhere in the forest or in the parks because of the pandemic. But again, your guess is as good as mine in terms of how it's going to be proceeding. But I think it's definitely, guys, unfortunately, I think it's definitely on the cards. Whatever way they choose to turn it, it's going to be happening, because it's already kind of, you can see the wheels are definitely in motion. So there we are, guys. Hopefully that kind of answers your question without me going into too much of the political and kind of the details, because obviously YouTube doesn't really like that. But my suggestions to you, yet again, guys, I put the link down below. Have a watch, have a listen to the interview with Mark, and we'll be doing a live show which will be going into more details of something you probably wouldn't even heard happening in the industry, in terms of food industry and the food shortages. So that'll be this Sunday at 7 o'clock. Otherwise, guys, please comment below. Your thoughts are always welcome, as you know. Thank you for watching. Thumbs up, and I shall see you in the next one. Bye bye.